G'day world, Craig from Bendigo Hydroblasting. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna blast a Russian. Now I know what you're thinking. You're not allowed to do that on TV, but when I say Russian, I mean a Russian motorcycle engine or part thereof. It's a 1960s, early 60s Kovorets, I believe is the term that's used. 175. Let's have a look at what we're going to play with. Well, here's all the bits and pieces here that we're going to be blasting today. Some of this has seen better days. This chain guard thing, or chain cover thing here, it's thrown a chain at some stage and smashed the cover. It's been welded up and put very poorly. Customer told me he's going to get that repaired after I've blasted it. This one's not too bad. It's got a coat of paint on it. This one's got paint on it as well, but it's corroded all under the paint. The cylinder, have a look at the cylinder there. Some bright spark. This is a 175cc two-stroke. Has decided that's going to go heaps better with two exhaust pipes, so they put two exhaust ports on it. Good on them. And in typical Russian fashion, this looks to be a copy of a Jawa. And there's the intake cover, or the carby cover. Yeah, that's in pretty good nick. These hubs are absolutely atrocious. We'll see what we can do. We're going to have to dry blast a lot of this stuff before we wet blast it, get rid of that paint, get rid of the corrosion. But honestly, it'll be interesting to see what the quality of this aluminium's like. If it's anything like some of the other stuff I've done, it's going to be pretty ordinary. I think they use the cutlery from the canteen in the casting factory. Anyway, hey, have a look at that cup. It says, "My dad, my hero." That makes me feel a bit special. Okay, what to do first? I think what we will do first is one of the crappiest pieces. This hub. This is probably the rear hub. It's a lot of dirt and stuff in there. But anyway, stick that over there in the dry blaster first. Then we'll poke it in there in the TARDIS. And we'll see how it comes up. Stay tuned. Okay, we'll whack that in here and we'll have a red hot crack. And here's a look at that hub with the, after a dry blast with all that paint knocked off. That aluminium under there is in surprisingly good condition. I thought it was corroded as hell, but anyway, let's chuck it in the wet blaster now, and we'll pop it alongside that one when it's done, and you can see us side by side. Well, goodness gracious me, get a look at that. I'm quite pleased with the way that's come out. I didn't think it would come out anywhere near that nice in the condition it was in. But anyway, when you're playing with this type of stuff, if you're looking at getting your stuff done, that's an industrial cabinet, guys. Size does matter. It's going to be a lot more cost effective if you bring it to me. Anyway, we'll move on and we'll do this bit now. And when I'm doing these bits, it's always good to have a good look at them before you put them in the machine. This one here has had a bit of carnage, as you can see. That's a fresh brake. That's probably happened when the brake drum insert was being removed. But it's always nice to see this stuff before you put it in the machine. Just removes any doubt in my mind that I might have done it. But anyway, onward and upward. We'll get a load of those two hubs, folks. They've come up supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. You wouldn't know they were the same ones. What we'll do now is we'll get onto this little cowl thing here. There's no paint on that, so that can go straight into the hydroblasting cabinet. That won't take long. Anyway, let's go. Well, folks, before I do any more, I'm just going to have a bit of a spell. I'm going to have a bit of a feed. For those of you who don't know, this here is the national food of Australia. That's a meat pie with sauce, or pie and sauce for short. So while I'm wrapping my laughing gear around this, you've now got the opportunity to hit that like button if you like what you see, and share it with your mates on MySpace or whatever your platform is. Anyhow, I'll eat this and then we'll get back into it. Well, we'll just pop that in there, and for those of you that can count to 10, by the time you've done that, that thing will be spotless. There we go, I told you so. We'll rinse that shit off and pop it on the table and give you a look at that. There we go. Have a look at that. Get that one into you, Rasputin. Okay, we'll have a look at one of these side covers now, and then we'll pop it back. But before we do that, we'll get this scriber here and we'll pick out a couple of these little copper washers if they come out. There they go. If we don't do that, those little buggers end up floating around in the guts of my machine, never to be seen again. We'll pop them back in the box for the customer. Well, that's the first of those two covers done. Like I was saying before, the quality of the aluminium and stuff that came out of Russia and Germany and places in the 60s wasn't real flash. You can see here there's actual holes in the casting, and they're on the bottom. They probably just covered those up and painted them. But those two covers there now, one cleaned, one not cleaned, they're choosing chalk. Anyway, we'll give this one a go now and see how it comes out. And there's the second of the Kovorets cases. That's come up quite nice, hasn't it? Yeah, okay. Have a look at those. Now we'll move on to this cylinder head, I think. We will chuck that in the dry blaster. It's not painted, but the garnet tends to get down and quickly knock out any road grime and crap that's built up in there over 70 years. So we'll chuck that in the dry blaster and then wet blast it. And one of the hardest parts about this job is making all these little wasps homeless. Anyway, let's get on with it. There we go, that's the cylinder head done. Oh, I wish I had the lighting to show you how this came out in real life. This looks absolutely gorgeous. Hey, you'd be happy putting that on your bike. Righto, we might do the cylinder next. Same deal with that, we'll give it a quick dry blast, and then a wet blast. And there's a look at it from another angle so you can see just how cruddy that is. And that cylinder's come up looking quite nice. That matches that head just perfectly. A bit hard to show you just how good that came up because you can't see inside those fins, but that's very nice. We'll have a go at one of these covers now. First up, we'll chuck that in the dry blaster and knock a bit of that, all of that paint and that crap off it, and see what we're starting with, and then we'll chuck it in the wet blaster, and hopefully we can make it look a lot prettier than what it is. And that's the chain cover after it's had a clean. That well, there, get a load of that. I hope old mate that did that's not watching, because that's the worst weld I've ever seen. I can't weld. But anyway, yeah, that's nice and clean. Give the fabricator somewhere to start when he does that repair. Hopefully the customer, when he's had that repaired, brings it back and gets me to clean again. I'll blend any repairs that he's done so that it matches the rest of it. Anyway, we'll knock the paint off this one and wet blast that. Last but not least, but we'll give it a go. And that's the last of the Kovorets stuff done. That cover's come up nice. That's actually part of the rear brake unit. I didn't realise that. It's got facility for the brake linings on the other side, but anyhow, quick look at the rest of it. Hopefully the owner will do the rest of the bike justice and bring it up as good as this lot. Anyhow folks, thanks for tuning in. Another short video. Hope you got something from that. Something a little bit different. Kovorets. Anyway, I'm going to bash a few of these cold ones into me guts, and I'll catch you next time. Don't forget to bash that like button. Anyway, cheers big ears.